This is the Art of Persistence, starting with Chapter 10. Mission. If you think you can do a thing, or think you can't do a thing, you're right. Henry Ford. I think inside each of us is a purpose for our life, and it's not too hard to wrap your mind around that idea. You can just look around, like I am doing this very moment on my daily commute. I notice workers building new track and traffic dispatchers coordinating the trains. I think of the electric lines powering those trains, the people who maintain them, the train driver who drives the vehicle I'm traveling in. All are needed. Their coordinated effort makes possible my relatively fast and comfortable daily commute to my job. Thousands of others rely on this team. It's easy to imagine the disaster that could follow if any of these people didn't perform their tasks flawlessly. Intellectually, this is an easy concept to understand. Everyone has a purpose, like each cog in a machine has a place. But does that include me? I struggle with this. When I tried to imagine myself in this machine of life, in a place where I was contributing as I was designed to, I found it difficult. I could agree that every other person had a purpose, but believing that I had the same internal mechanism was hard. I pushed the thought away whenever it came to mind. Consequently, I felt my life had no meaning and no sense of purpose. And I think this affliction is quite common, especially if your purpose in life seems to be pulling you outside your comfort zone. I chose to become a professional writer at the age of 33. Having never published any work before. It's intimidating to say the least. So how do you feel about the concept that you were sent to this world purposefully? That you have your individual mission to fulfill, and if you fail, then someone can't take the train home. I didn't want to know about that. I ran from the thought every time it crossed my mind. I lied to myself and pretended that the universe was simply in existence because it was. And my existence in it was a random event. However, I had to face the reality that if others had purpose, so must I. If having purpose is part of a human's constitution, then obviously I had it too. So what was it? I was forced to seek it. Viktor Frankl didn't accidentally use the word detect for finding your purpose. He wanted to convey his belief you are predestined, that you are predestined to pursue your individual meaning of life. The church presents the same view in its description of God's aim for every human. Your purpose is ready. It awaits you. You don't have to invent it. You discover it. And I have a perfect tool for you to do just that, a personal mission statement. What's this? According to Stephen Covey, it focuses on what you want to be, character, and do, contributions and achievements, and on the values or principles upon which being and doing are based. It is your personal constitution. In October 2012, I read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and decided to develop my personal mission statement. The process of its creation revealed my purpose and helped me to narrow it down. In short, all I needed to do was examine my past experience, my present state of mind, and my aspirations for the future. I found the exercise a great help in detecting my life purpose. I had to wonder about and write down my values and my ideas about who I wanted to be. The effort opened my eyes to my purpose. You may well find it equally illuminating and helpful. The process reveals a lot about you and your place in the world. In order to develop your mission statement the right way, you'll have to go through a number of mental exercises and deep questions. You might find it a grueling experience, especially if you have been neglecting any soul searching for some time. On the other hand, you may have already have a clear vision of what's important in your life. Then the job of writing your personal mission statement may take you just a few hours or days. Wally Amos, a millionaire, created his on a flight from LA to Hawaii, and it was very concise, just one sentence long. To give you a perspective, I avoided soul searching and major life questions for about 15 years. It then took me about 6 weeks to write my mission statement. It was 1,300 words long at the beginning and encompassed 14 areas of my life. I had a big mess to sort out after years of neglect. I won't go deep into the details of how I wrote my personal mission statement. I've done that elsewhere, and this book is already long enough. However, you can develop your personal mission statement without my detailed workings. Remember, I'm the guy who didn't look deeply into his soul for 15 years, but I then managed to make up ground using just the 7 habits of highly effective people and some free resources from the internet. Any additional material, like my book, will considerably speed up the process of writing your statement, but in the end, it will come down to you. The most crucial element of the process is you. Without your commitment, it will fail. Besides, your mission statement won't do you any good if you don't refer to it and take inspiration from it consistently. You must be excited and determined about your mission enough to draw strength from your mission every day. Internalize your mission. A personal mission statement is more than just a statement of your intentions. The foremost function of this document is to enable internalization of your purpose. It is one thing to write down the words, "I am a writer," but feeling the power of these words in your soul, knowing they are true, this is something else entirely. Your mission statement won't be a success for you unless you feel that those words are true, that they apply to you personally, and that you have no other way forward other than to become a writer. I believe it is crucial that the words in your mission statement are authentically you. Maxwell Maltz, the author of the best-selling book Psycho-Cybernetics, stated that we only perform the actions we consider we are capable of doing. Our beliefs become our truths. We will only achieve the things we believe we can. An example of this is seen in hypnosis. People who are hypnotized can do quite extraordinary things for as long as they believe the suggestions of the hypnotist. A shy guy, convinced under hypnosis of his abilities with women, can hit on any girl, and a bodybuilder will be unable to lift his hand from the table once convinced that it is as heavy as a large rock. The process of creating your mission statement is intimately personal. You define what's important for you. No one but you determines what is in it or the perspective you take. It's your original work and should reach the deepest reservoirs of your emotions, memories, and intentions. Done well, a personal mission statement is not a theoretical document, but one you can actively engage with that reflects the essence of where you want to be. It can be used daily to keep you on your chosen life path. What is more, it must be used every day if you desire speedy results. The frequency of every habit determines its impact. It's better to read your mission statement 5 times a day than once a day. Of course, if you only read it once a day, the thing will still have greater influence on you than if you put it in a drawer and only looked at it once a week. If you repeat your mission statement every day, if you remind your subconscious about it daily, it can't ignore it. Even if read only once a day, it's a nagging, annoying whisper that your subconscious must accommodate into your whole self or go crazy. You can't consistently repeat every day that you are one thing and do something else. It's unbearable for your brain. It needs coherence, integrity. It will have no other choice but to yield to your will. For example, I realized that my parenting severely lacked the element of praise. I wrote down in my mission statement, I praise each of my children at least 3 times a day. I repeated this statement day after day, but it didn't seem to help much. I've been brought up to think that the way to train children is to constantly draw attention to faults that require correction. so I find faults in my children's behavior and correct them. It's hard to fight off the patterns that have been used through generations. Criticism has worked well since my ancestors lived in the caves thousands of years ago. And instant correction works well if the behavior is that you are wandering too close to something that will eat you. Feeding my subconscious with that sentence did produce a result. I came up with the idea to start a gratitude journal about my children, noting any praiseworthy behavior, and I did. I've kept this now for more than 18 months, and I have had a spin-off effect. My criticizing, correcting parenting style has begun to change. I'm praising my children verbally, not just in writing, more often. Recently, I began a Tiny Habits program, and one of the 3 habits I developed was to praise my children during our very first encounter in any given day. I've managed to stick with it. Don't give your subconscious a choice. Resolve to review your personal mission statement every day. Develop an immovable habit of referring to it. You will win. It's just a question of time, and you have plenty of time. You have your whole life. Don't let impatience discourage you. How does a personal mission statement magically work? It helps you focus now, in the present, on your desired future. You are focused now on who you are going to become in the next 10 or 50 years. A personal mission statement works similarly to a set of goals written down on index cards and read from time to time. But I think there is a key difference between these motivating devices. If you have discovered your true purpose, you will have a huge emotional charge connected to it. Naturally, your goals should be important to you and put in a positive mood when you think about them. But goals are always changing. A personal mission statement does not change, and you should be obsessed with living it. If you are not, you won't be obsessed or driven about anything in your life. The power of now. All you really have is the present moment. You can only act right now. You cannot act in the past or in the future. The past is settled. The future is vague. If you spend most of your time on regretting the past or planning the future, you don't really live. Yes, it's sometimes necessary to draw lessons from prior events or plan your next steps, but spending too much time on such activities diminishes your ability to act now. Your mind is always seeking ways it can move you forward, and a personal mission statement helps you to do so now. It grounds you in the present. To be useful, your mission statement must be positive and specify precise outcomes. The actions you take over time might change, particularly as new technology creates new pathways, but your desired outcomes will be consistent. For example, you could write a mission for yourself such as, I want to save dolphins on our planet. But worded like that, your statement won't motivate you. It sounds simply like a wish. If you believe you're here to save dolphins, you'll discern the key threats to dolphins and write a statement that outlines the outcomes you want, which might be, I save dolphins by boycotting non-dolphin safe companies, and I share the effect of tuna fishing with the world. If you are sure about your mission, the simplest statement is enough. I save dolphins. That's an outcome. You will find a way to fulfill those words. When something is really important to you, your subconscious can only react in 2 ways. It could discourage you from referring to it. In this way, you will lose focus and your subconscious will avoid all the hard work involved with fulfilling your desire. If you aren't thinking about this subject, then clearly it is not so important. However, if you are fully engaged with something, your subconscious will have to take note. In the case of your personal mission statement, if you are reading and reflecting on it consistently, there is no way for your subconscious to avoid participation. Effectiveness of your personal mission statement. There is a good reason behind the enormous popularity of the 7 habits of highly effective people. That book actually delivers what it promises: effectiveness. It is often referred to as a self-development classic, but the title is not about developed people, it's about effectiveness. A personal mission statement delivers results. It does it via the same road every result is delivered in your life, through the power of your mind. Mission statements act as lenses that focus your potential on fulfilling specific results from the abundance of possibilities. I could become a teacher, an astronaut, a pilot, a hermit, or a master salesman, but I decided to become a writer, and that's what I noted in my statement. I'm becoming a writer. This career was as unlikely as others, as I mentioned. I had no writing experience or education. At the moment of writing those words, I had never published even a single article. All I had was a desire. It took me about a month to start my first blog. Then the avalanche began. During the next month, I started my second blog, and I didn't even know I was doing it. That's the power of the subconscious in action. Where was this second blog I didn't know about? It was my transformation journal. I took part in the transformation contest, and participation required me to provide a daily entry about pursuing my goals. Journaling daily became a habit that I've kept up to this day. It still wasn't enough for me. In my mind, a writer is someone who is published, whose works are read and mulled over. I made an attempt to create short fiction in Polish. I uploaded my work on a science fiction forum, and I got a lot of negative feedback. I realized I needed years of training and practice to hone my storytelling skills, but my subconscious had been set to writing and look for opportunities. After a suggestion from a friend, I decided to write nonfiction in English and publish it on Amazon. With my mediocre English skills, no financial means for this venture, and exactly zero knowledge of self-publishing at the time, it was beyond challenging. It took more than 6 months after creating my personal mission statement before I was ready to publish my first work. By January 2014, I had 4 titles published, yet I still didn't consider myself a writer. I sold about 100 to 150 books a month since November 2013 and had given away a few thousand copies doing free promos. However, I still didn't feel with full conviction that I was a writer. The success of Master Your Time in 10 Minutes a Day has changed that. In the last 4 days of January, I gave away about 4,500 copies of this book during the opening promotion. This was more books that I had given away in all my previous promotions combined. In February, I beat all my sales records and all my reviews records. At that point, I changed the sentence in my personal mission statement. It now reads, I am a writer. It took me 15 months to internalize my intention into a belief. I didn't envision this path when I was composing my mission statement. That is the beauty of it. I wasn't restricted to some specific goal. All I wanted was to be a writer. And by focusing on this mission every day, I took the right path among many that could have provided me with that result. The same will happen to you if you stick with your mission statement long enough. It's unavoidable. Your mind must provide you with results or else you'll go crazy. Knowledgeable items. All humans have a life purpose. Thus you have one too. A personal mission statement is a good purpose detecting tool. A personal mission statement harnesses the power of your subconscious mind in the service of your purpose. A personal mission statement provides results.